Okay, this is a story when I was about 23 years old. I went on a trip to Europe, and I took a bus trip. No, later on, when I didn't take a bus trip, I took this freighter from Montreal all the way to Rotterdam, and it took 10 days from Montreal. Imagine 10 days. And I was going to travel with a rucksack on my back. And when it was only $150. I wish everybody else had that money at 100 to take that trip. Anyhow, I was able to go there because I was still a little bit fluent in both German and French. And then something happened towards the end of the trip, which I'll get to. When I got to Rotterdam, then I got to Germany, and then I saw the building, the church still saw at that time bombing things happening. Anyhow, I traveled by train, no hitchhiking, and I stayed at the youth hostels. And the youth hostels were only about 25 cents a night. And imagine the Canadian dollar and the American dollar was just wonderful. Anyhow, I traveled through Europe and visited some relatives, and then I traveled also to Austria, Salzburg, and I didn't get to Switzerland, but I got also all the way down to Rome and Florence and so on. So I went to some of these museums, and with my rucksack and quick transportation, that was great for anybody. And I traveled, and I even got to Rome, and I saw the Pope, the one that was the fat one. I don't know exactly his name, but he was alive there, and he gave a nod of it. Anyhow, towards the end, when I got in October, when I was in Paris, I ran out of, I was running out of money, and I had to survive on something that was about half the size for 5 days. So I want you to think, what did I use to survive to get on a ship? Because I arrived in Rotterdam, but I went back from Antwerp all the way to New York. And so what I had to do towards the end, when I ran out of money, almost, what I did is what kept me alive, I bought a salami about half the size of this, and I marked it down Monday, this part, then Tuesday, and then Wednesday, and then Thursday, and I finally got very hungry. I got onto the ship, and the ship brought me back. Anyhow, that salami thing was something that I always kind of smiled when I think about it, because when you're desperate, you got to think of something to do. And that's my story and my trip to Europe.
That's wonderful.